Hi, I'm Kei.
Hi, I'm Jireh.
Well, it's been 5 years since we came to RHC, but we always plan to move back to Japan eventually. And as a Japanese person, I always feel that there's a great need for the gospel.
Well, Japan is a great place to holiday, but actually living there as a Christian has many unique challenges, I think. When I moved there 10 years ago, I felt that it was quite hard to find community, even amongst Christians. And it was really hard to build relationships there that were meaningful.
It's really hard to leave, to be honest. We would rather stay, but now we feel the call for God.
God has really been working to make this happen for a very, very long time. 10 years ago when I moved to Sendai, I was feeling quite homesick, and I discovered this salon that had this huge RHC logo on the front. And it just made me miss my friends in RHC so much more. And so I would pray every time I walked by, hey God, won't you just send some people from RHC to plant a church here in Japan? This is so long ago. And over the years, we've actually watched with interest that RHC is forming friendships and with like-minded churches in Japan, and that's been really encouraging to us. We would never have imagined so many years ago that we would come back and join RHC as a family, and then now go out again from RHC to join a church through Resound. A lot of people have been asking us why Nagoya as opposed to going back to Sendai, where Kei is from, or Tokyo. I mean, it's the biggest mega city in the world, so obviously there's a great need for the gospel there.
To be honest, Tokyo would be a much comfortable option for us to choose. I've lived there before, and I still have some relatives living there. But this time I felt God was working in my heart. Probably 5 years ago I have chose to go to Tokyo, but this time we felt the need is greater in Nagoya. And we decided to go somewhere that's uncomfortable, new. Damien Utako has been leading the church, GraceCity Church Nagoya, and they has been great in showing us the gospel. Even through just the Zoom sessions that we had, we really felt like they're living out the gospel in the community. And this is a huge thing in Japan, so we really felt that we want to work with them and serve them and care for the community together.
RHC has been such a great family to us. You've loved us, you've helped us to grow, you've really pressed the gospel into our hearts. It's really our desire as we move to Nagoya to kind of bring a little bit of what we've learned here and to see that lived out in a new community in Japan.
I could see that the gospel is alive in people's life, in a way how people care, in a way how people share, and just taking initiative to step into people's life when it's messy and uncomfortable, but I saw that that love that's alive in people's life. So that was very, very encouraging, and also something that we want to do in Japan.
I think the biggest need for support is prayer, but there are other practical ways as well. You can give financially, you can help out practically, and you can come and visit us.
We'll really appreciate if you can pray for our kids. We have 3 kids, 8, 4, and almost 1 year old, and they pretty much grew up in Singapore, so they will definitely face the cultural differences. I feel a grief, I feel sense of lost of the community. We were here for 5 years, and although we always knew that one day we'll go back to Japan, this time it's painful. This time we feel like we are really pulling ourselves out from the community that we love. We are loved, and it's very painful. At the same time, we know that this friendship, although it will be different, will not be lost, and we hope that we can see each other again when we come back in Singapore, or when we see some of you guys in Japan.
I think initially it will be quite frustrating, but actually I'm really excited to see and just to experience how the gospel is applied in the Japanese culture. I think in our time here we've really learned that the gospel is alive, that it really does change hearts and it works in us, and there's a certain dynamism when it interacts with the culture. So actually I'm really excited to see how that plays out in Japan this time around.